It represents the largest ungoverned space in planet Earth. Never before in the history of mankind has so much power been there in the hands of so many people at so many places concurrently. There is a tale of two civilizations which is playing itself out. A physical civilization which has emerged over the millennia, and a virtual civilization which is forming. Since 2003, there is more digital content which has been churned out every 2 days than possibly from the beginning of civilization till 2003, if we take that as the benchmark here. And so therefore, the Indian media and entertainment industry, which of course has been able to leverage this change in the past decade, needs to possibly more robustly be proactive to see as to how the synergies which this is creating between different applications of content dissemination can be leveraged further. We've had over the past 20 years possibly the most exponential growth in mobile telephony in the country. As we speak, there are 86.7 crore mobile phones and possibly the cheapest call rates anywhere in the world. 12.4 crore internet users, which would grow to about 37 crores by 2017. 8 crore people on Facebook, another 1.5 crore on Twitter, growing exponentially every day. And that is why this is the technology area which is going to be the key enabler whereby industry, if it maps out the roadmap properly, would be able to leverage it to see that you can do the 20% or 25% growth which you are contemplating to really be able to reach the target of $100 billion. Only yesterday in the cabinet, we've given an in-principle nod to incentivize semiconductor wafer fab manufacturing facilities in India. And as this new paradigm rolls out, whereby India would possibly become the manufacturing hub for hardware also, this is an opportunity which vendors in this particular space can also leverage. And therefore, what we've been witnessing till now is that while we've been a market leader insofar as content and services are concerned, in the hardware area, we've been lagging a little behind, and that's why government has walked the extra mile. We've taken a decision in principle that we will incentivize hardware creation, which ultimately will feed into software and content and would bring about a synergy. Similarly, radio, which was considered to be a casualty of the tectonic shifts in the technological era, has rebounded back because of mobile telephony. And as we speak, we are poised on the cusp of commencing the auction for Phase 3 FM radio. We are trying to put in processes which can make the whole ascending e-auction process as transparent and as hassle-free as possible. And I think by the next month, we would be in a place, we would be in a position to be able to unroll this entire Phase 3 auction process. Similarly, in the film sector, which both Ronnie and Uday and Amit alluded to, as we speak, the Justice Mudgal Committee is winding down its remit to overhaul the archaic Cinematographic Act of 1952. We have given them a very, very wide remit. We've given them an open license and the latitude to be able to overhaul the entire legislative architecture in order to bring it up to speed with what the current reality is. And I do hope that when they come back with those recommendations, because there's been a series of consultations across the country, which I do hope the industry has taken advantage of, but when they come back with their recommendations, which they've told us by mid-October, we would try and put this legislative architecture in place. So therefore, some of the concerns which you have, which really have a bearing on the entire federal scheme, center versus state, the CBFC's remit, where the state government's remit on law and order, we would be able to find a method of ironing them out. But the one contradiction which Mr. Amit Khanna alluded to, and I think that is where a lot of work needs to be done, and Mr. Mahesh Bhatt also drew my attention to that, is the lack of television, enough cinema screens in India. While you have, or you may have 14 million Indians who go to cinema every day, this number could easily be 30 million, 40 million, 100 million, provided that we have those many schemes in place. And on this particular aspect, we would welcome any inputs which the industry may have as to how government can work with not only industry on one hand, but with state governments on the other, to see that we can put in place a proper package of incentives which can lead to the creation of infrastructure, which then the soft power or the content industry would be able to leverage to possibly attain its growth objectives. I would just like to conclude on a very personal note. When I took over as the minister last year, it was on the cusp of the CII's Big Picture Summit. For 5 years as the spokesperson of the Indian National Congress, I had interacted with the front end of the media, and over the last 10 months, I've been trying to understand the nuances of the back end of your business. I must confess, it's been a very steep learning curve, but all of you have been extremely patient teachers, and I would like to thank all of you for your patience. And I would just like to leave you with one thought, that government, and especially the government of the United Progressive Alliance, believes that the media and entertainment industry, both in its content and non-content dimensions, is something which can unlock the creative potential of millions and millions of young people across the length and breadth of this country. And we would partner with the industry, we would walk that extra mile to ensure that we put in place the requisite infrastructure, the requisite policy landscape, to see that you are able to translate your $100 billion vision into reality. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.